What's up, everybody?
Excuse me. Excuse me.
You should so keep that in the recording if you recorded it.
It is my intro. Try to steal my intro. You can't even do the whole thing.
That's what happens when you try to fire me.
Whatever. Okay. What's up, everybody? Welcome to 3D Rivals, the podcast where we talk about comics and movies and everything in between. I am joined today by my siblings, my brother Derek.
What's good?
And my sister,
Delilah.
Hey there, Delilah. I've been so... Oh, man, what's the song?
Don't even know the words.
Yeah.
It was the song, but yeah, he screwed up the words.
He screwed it up.
Whatever. Hey there, Delilah. I used to like that song. Times Square don't shine as bright as you, or something like that.
Please stop.
All right, guys. This weekend, Godzilla the King of Monsters came out in theaters, so I'm going to do a DJ reviews of that. So we'll talk about Godzilla a little bit, and also the season finale of Cloak and Dagger. So we get to do a little bit of a conversation about that. But of course, before we start, we always get into the news for the week. And see, I said we need a theme song, and for the news.
Why did you come up with one? You did.
Did I come up with one? No, it was just da-da-da, da-da-da.
Okay. Please do not sue us, ABC or Disney. That's the
Disney. Yeah, Disney's definitely going to sue.
Yeah. We did not do that.
It's okay. It has nothing.
The small bits.
I kind of abandoned small bits. Oh yeah, because I had to keep coming up with my metaphors.
You didn't have to. No one asked you to do that.
No, it was great. I like the metaphors for small bits.
Whatever. Okay, what's the news?
All right, so of course we mentioned Godzilla came out over the weekend, and of course it is number one. Mm-hmm. So far, the weekend's not over just yet, but so far it's I think it's projected to earn $51 million
domestically.
Domestically,
okay.
That's based on Friday and Saturday. Of course, Sunday's going to come in, so we'll see exactly what it makes. But a projected $51 million domestic, which is not high for your U.S. base. However, worldwide, it is sitting at $170 million. So it looks like it's doing good worldwide and not a big domestic box office hit. But it's still making money.
Yeah, not surprising. I feel like Godzilla is more famous overseas than it is here.
The following, I think, is probably bigger overseas than here. Yeah. The Toho films kind of has a cult following in the U.S., but it's not your general audience.
Right, especially since I, as the general audience, have yet to find a Godzilla movie that I truly liked. Like, I didn't see this one, but I saw the one that came out, I don't know.
2014?
Yeah, and I was not a fan.
I actually didn't mind that movie. I thought, the way the director did it, where he kind of kept things out of your view, where it paid off at the end, with the final battle, I liked that. Audiences did not like that, especially the Godzilla fans. They wanted to see Godzilla throughout the movie.
That wasn't my issue. Me not seeing Godzilla wasn't an issue. It was the story and everything else was the issue.
Yeah, the human story. Well, personally, I'm going to get into my review later on, but the human story in the 2014 Godzilla was 10 times better than what they have in this current movie. So
that's unfortunate.
Wow. So
that's not good at all.
We're going to get into that. But yeah. However, like we just mentioned, and kind of we were talking about the differences, there is kind of a discrepancy between critics and audiences, you can see, because it seems the audiences are really the fans that's going to see these movies. As far as Rotten Tomatoes goes, it's 80%, 7% audience score. And this is the new score that you have to verify that you bought a ticket to give that score. So this is, I would say this is kind of a clear-cut score for those who have seen the movie. And critics are giving it a pretty low, it's in the 30s, I believe. So you can kind of see the difference where if you're a fan, you liked it. If you're just a person going to see it, you probably didn't. But it seems to have a strong box office, and it's probably going to make the money it needs, I would say.
Okay.
Next bit of news: Keanu Reeves is rumored. They're considering further internals. Basically, is what people are saying.
At this point, isn't there like 100 people in this movie? I feel like it's a lot of people.
All I know is Angelina Jolie, some other guy. I forgot who they said, and then Keanu Reeves.
Who is he supposed to be playing? Don't tell me, because I don't know who these people are.
I was about to say, I don't know, and I don't know the character.
I was like, who's he going to be? Like, I'm supposed to know. You could have said it, and you could have said Mickey Mouse, and I'd been like, okay.
Yeah, honestly, for Eternals, I'm just hoping they hit it the same note they did with Guardians of the Galaxy. You know, Guardians of the Galaxy was something that most people, including myself, knew nothing about. And they just hit a chord with the movie where everybody enjoyed it. So Eternals, I feel like it's in the same boat. Almost nobody knows anything about these characters. So just do whatever, make it good. You know?
Agreed.
Next bit of news, Supergirl. Another rumor, but it's supposed to be starting shooting next year.
Who's in these movies? Don't they usually release, like, this is who's playing Supergirl, this is whatever?
They don't have a cast yet. That's why it's next year. So the casting is going to be started.
You did say, I was thinking, like, I'm like, how are they shooting it? They don't have people, but they're not shooting.
Yes, it should be starting next year. That means it's on the books, apparently, for Warner Brothers.
Completely missed the important part of that. Sorry.
Good job.
Yep.
So, but with that being said, you had some DC news, right, Delilah?
Yes. So rumor has it that the DC is not going to do like a expanded universe with like a Justice League where everyone comes together or whatever. It seems like they decided to abandon that idea, which obviously you sucked at it.
I guess it's understandable considering Justice League.
Yes. And so now they're saying that they're going to do with more of like mini universes. So Batman will have his own universe, and then that may spin off like a Nightwing or a Batgirl. Aquaman will have his own, which apparently that Trenches movie will be a part of like the Aquaman universe.
Okay.
So it's like, I guess, mini sets of movies, which I'm like, it's what they've been doing.
Yeah.
Before.
Yeah. Because,
So
they didn't do many superheroes, though.
Yeah.
So basically, before you had the Superman universe and the Batman universe.
Yeah.
So now, I guess what they're adding is now they're going to branch out and do other characters.
Other characters within that universe.
Yeah, but they're all going to be in their own pocket universes. No big.
I do like that idea, though.
I mean, the idea is fine, especially since they, a heaping pile of trash that was, Justice League and their attempt at whatever the MCU was doing. So I'm fine with that. But I feel like that's kind of how it always been. Batman has always been in his own world. Superman has always been in his own world. And DC could have left it just like that instead of trying to mimic what Marvel was doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they was trying to jump on the bandwagon, but they did it too late.
Well, not when you say they did it too late, they did it wrong.
Yeah, they just did it wrong. It wasn't too late. They did it wrong.
Yeah.
I felt like they would try to start exactly where Marvel was already instead of just getting to that point.
Yeah,
they didn't. Just like, it's an Avengers movie. We got to do it justice.
Yeah, they didn't build up to a Justice League movie. And I feel like what makes Marvel so great is that you kind of develop a liking to these characters. Like, that build-up was like, by the time we got to Endgame, it was just like, you like these characters so much, you didn't want to see them go, even though you know they were going.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, and even with Endgame, like, there are some legitimate complaints about the movie. Understandable. Yeah. But the build-up that you had in all the other movies, just everything that they had in that movie just paid it off. Well, so you enjoyed it because of all the payoff that you had.
I would say let's not even say Endgame. Let's say Avengers, because Avengers was that first compilation movie.
Yeah.
And Avengers was something that I was like really hyped for, but kind of nervous. I'm like, can they pull something like this off?
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
and they pulled it off. So I'm like, I love the Avengers. I mean, to this day, I can watch that movie over and over again and not get tired. And I feel like DC tried to start at the end, without giving us a proper build up for these characters. It was a disaster from the get go. So I am fine with them abandoning this idea. It wasn't good, so good for you.
Yeah. Never learn. You could never start off at the end.
Nope.
So yeah, I think this will work for DC. I guess they'll probably do like a big Batman family team up movie at some point or something. Which is fine, because
I feel like that's more than normal what they've been doing since 1960.
Yeah, so that's fine. I think that would be pretty good. So I'll see what they come out with and how to enjoy it. They've had some good movies, so we can see what they're going to do in the future. Speaking of Endgame, since we mentioned that, it's only about $100 million away from Avatar. So I think at this point we could say that it's going to beat Avatar's record.
I think so.
I think so. I'm rooting for it. I mean, I would love to be like, I want to push it over the edge. I don't have $100 million to spend on a movie though. So,
yeah, I mean, that'd be nice. If we had $100 million, then
why are we doing this?
Why are we doing this podcast?
Why are we doing it? And why are we doing this in your apartment?
Why are we sitting in my dining room?
Yeah. I mean, this is our recording studio.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Excuse us.
Yes,
right.
Very professional.
Right. We're professionals.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
Live in front of a studio and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we do have an audience.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 people just walked past my window.
Yes. So yeah, well, but within game, if it stays in theaters until Spider-Man comes out, I would say most definitely it's going to beat it.
That's another month.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to last that long.
That's unusual for a movie.
Yeah, it is, but they might do it.
But you know, they could, I don't take it off and bring it back just before
the
Spider-Man.
weekend before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the thing or not, but
yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Let's talk about Dark Phoenix.
Should we? I mean, do we have to?
Well, it's coming out.
I think we have the same response every time you bring this up.
I know.
Well, guys, it's coming out in theaters next week.
Oh no.
Yes.
It's Friday.
It is. I know. It snuck up on me.
I really don't want to see this.
Popped out of the closet. It was like, hey. But yeah. Yeah.
It's in the closet.
No.
Dark Phoenix was in the closet.
Gosh, please. The news on Dark Phoenix.
So remember we talked about how they changed the last fight from epic space battle to a train fight.
Mediocre
train battle.
Yes.
What, you mean you don't fight on trains?
No. I mean, yeah, honestly, trains are that is the pinnacle of fighting spots is a train.
Yes.
That's,
it is.
True.
In Street Fighter, was there a train in Street Fighter you can fight on?
In Street Fighter?
No. Oh man, I don't know.
I know you beat up a car.
Well, anyway, so Dark Phoenix, they made that change to the final battle or the third act, and James McAvoy shed some light on why. Mm-hmm. So he said they had to change it because, and we'll see what you guys gather from it, but they said it was too similar to another superhero movie that came out recently that ended in space.
So that just has to be Captain Marvel, right? Can't be Endgame.
Yeah, it's not. Endgame didn't end in space.
Well, Endgame didn't finish.
Thor
in space,
ended up in space. I'm just saying.
How is that similar to?
It wasn't a fight.
It wasn't a fight in space.
I'm just saying. So yeah. Captain Marvel.
Yeah, Captain Marvel was the only one that had a somewhat fight in space because it was kind of on Earth and in space, but I guess you can count that.
I find that hard to believe.
But you got to remember that they said the Skrull was supposed to be in this movie too, right?
Right.
Are they still in this movie?
What
We've seen no Skrull in any of these.
Did they say that?
When the movie was first shooting, I remember them saying that in the synopsis they were supposed to be using the Skrull.
I don't think they're going to do that.
I don't think so.
And then remember, they pushed the movie back and reshot it so many times.
So they probably took the Skrull out.
Yeah, so maybe it was exactly like Captain Marvel.
It might have been.
So, I'm very surprised that this movie is coming out next week. Have they been doing promotion for it?
Yeah, there's been a lot.
Yeah, it's been a lot of commercials and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I just
like I saw today, and it was like 5 more days.
Nobody's excited.
It should have been
for
like,
this
no
movie.
one cares.
Yeah. I'm like, why are you doing a countdown? No one's excited. It's coming out Friday.
Okay, well, now, see, okay, well, I'm interested to see this ending. Actually, I'm not.
No. I would say I'm interested to see how they redid the Dark Phoenix saga that was done already.
You mean X-Men 3?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I'm not.
No.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm looking to compare all the ways it's exactly like
But
X-Men
see, now, no, this is bad because we're creating a bias right now. So when we review the movie next week and everyone says...
Or it could shock and awe us.
True, yeah. My expectation is so low, maybe the movie will be really good.
I doubt it.
No?
I tend to see the movies like, why am I still here?
Well, okay. Sort of the last movie left over from Fox before the merger, New Mutants. So it has been confirmed that they're going to be doing reshoots. That's why it's coming out in 2020. And the director was speaking on that, so they're doing reshoots. One interesting thing he said Marvel Studios really plans for these things, and they're really good at that. We never really did that. So, like, in the budget and scheduling, Marvel has reshoots scheduled and budgeted already for if they need to do them.
Wow.
Apparently, they didn't do that at Fox.
First of all, that's like business 101.
Yeah.
You leave yourself a little cushion, because if you watch it and say, oh, man, I don't like this ending. Mm-hmm. I mean, they did that with Endgame. They reshot Tony Stark, I Am Iron Man.
Yeah.
Because at first he didn't say anything.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, no, we got to say something. And you have to do that.
Yeah.
How do you not?
Because Robert Downey Jr. didn't want to.
Yeah. How do you not put that in the budget?
Yeah.
That's like, come on now. You're running a multi-billion-dollar company.
Well, and in that statement, it shows that Marvel Studios is handling the reshoots for New Mutants, which I guess would make sense.
Yeah.
Because all these characters are going to belong to Marvel Studios now, like Disney would have handed it over to them. So, there's a couple of thoughts with that.
This movie was really bad.
Yeah, apparently it was really bad because it was supposed to come out, right? And, Disney obviously watched it and said no.
Yeah.
So reshoots. A couple of things. Since Marvel Studios is doing it, are they going to reshoot it and put it into the MCU?
I doubt it.
You don't think so?
No. How would you even connect it? Like, there's like literally nothing else I don't know. I don't see how, unless that's like the starting point to Mutants, and then they branch off from this movie.
Well, the thing is, we don't even know what the story is.
I know, it's like Crazy Mutant Kids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since we don't know the story, we don't know how difficult it would be to kind of put it in. It was a standalone movie technically anyway,
right.
So it might not be hard to phase it in.
True. I mean, you can always say, hey, remember when that one thing happened in that one place at that one city?
Yeah.
And that'd be that.
Yeah. And, I mean, it kind of makes sense. New Mutants, it could be your kicking it off point, whatever, your start of the mutants in the MCU.
It could be. Now, I wonder, can reshoots save this movie?
That's another thing. Is it so bad that the reshoots won't even matter?
Yeah.
Like, how much money is Disney going to be willing to pour into it?
Right. It's very.
Well,
and at
I was
this point,
intrigued about the movie anyway, so.
But then I'm kind of wondering, like, so these are teenagers, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like 3-4 years later, they grown.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
That's a big gap for teenagers.
Yeah, some of these people might look a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I look different from 9th grade to the 10th grade. Like,
unless they're calling it reshoots, and it's just not really a reshoot. They're just redoing the entire movie.
You mean new movie?
New movie. It's like we kept the title card. Okay. That's possible. Another thing that kind of had me thinking that they might phase it into the MCU is because they had come out and said that Dark Phoenix was the last X-Men movie for Fox.
Right.
Yeah.
And this movie is obviously coming out afterwards.
So you're saying that Marvel has completely taken over the New Mutants?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, it's possible. It's possible that they just do it as a standalone movie, not connected to anything, not the X-Men universe, not the Marvel universe.
Because I mean, now that they have Fox, like they could just wrap the whole thing and just like, you know. But they keep saying like, yeah, we're going to still release the movie. The movie is still going to come out. So I'm thinking maybe they have something in mind for it.
I'm thinking they're doing it because the movie's there. What's the purpose of just having a movie sit on the shelf? Right? If you're not going to release it on your streaming service, which what some movies do, like if it sucks so bad, just give it to Netflix.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you have the movies, so they're saying that we might as well get some money back, and even if you don't get all of it back. Yeah,
and if you're doing reshoots, maybe they feel like they can get more money for it, though, you know?
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see what becomes of this, because obviously it's coming out next year, so we're going to have some new stuff coming up with it, new information. We'll see what happens. I'm kind of with you, Delilah. I do doubt they're going to phase it into the MCU, but I do feel like this may be an opportunity for them to do it. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. Black Widow. She has started, or they have started shooting that movie. Mm-hmm. So that's coming out next year. One of the 2 Marvel movies next year.
Well, I heard rumor that it is going to be the first movie to come out for Phase 4.
In April?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you guys hear that it's supposed to take place between the 2 Captain America movies, I think?
Is that it?
Something like that.
Oh, wow.
I had it written down.
I did not know that.
I didn't even see that. No.
Yeah, that's what one of the rumors are.
Between what 2 Captain America movies?
I don't know. I'm not even sure if it was... It's between 2 movies.
Well, because if it's between 1 and 2, well, then fine.
It
That's
might be
still her origin story.
No.
Yeah.
I think it was the 2 Captain America movies.
The Winter Soldier and Civil War?
Yes, I think. Don't judge me on that. I mean, that's according to the internet, so...
Well, people are speculating because I was under the impression that it was going to be her origin story.
That's what I thought.
Or, you know, like Hawkeye saving her from being in the KGB
or
whatever.
Maybe it could still be and have someone play the younger version of her.
Maybe, yeah.
But I think Scarlett Johansson is being filmed for the movie, too.
Yeah,
yes, what I'm saying is that we will get both her origin plus this whatever happened in between kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Got it.
That could be a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it could be one of those movies where it's a flashback back and forth.
Yes.
Where you have the past and then you have present day or whatever the timeline for the movie.
I'm thinking
and it goes back and forth throughout the movie.
Yeah, it might be something like that.
Okay. We'll see when it actually ends up being. Because I'm not sure what I want. I guess a movie in between. It's weird just to stick it in between those movies. I feel I don't.
Well, if this is more of a spy Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. thing, then that's a perfect place to put it.
Okay, right after S.H.I.E.L.D. falls.
Yeah, I don't know. If I could remember what 2 movies they said, it'd be very helpful.
Yeah,
but I don't remember.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, none of this is confirmed. So
true. I mean, I'm excited to see it either way. So
yeah. Yeah, and I mean, the only thing that they were admitting to was that it is going to be the next movie after Spider-Man. That's the only thing that they confirmed.
Yeah, we'll probably hear some things about Marvel in general after Comic-Con.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, you also, I mean, don't you have the upcoming Comic-Con over the summer?
Literally.
And that's when a lot of things get released.
2 seconds ago, I just said that.
Literally just said that.
Yep. 2 seconds ago.
I didn't catch that. My bad.
Yep. Nope. I mean, no, it's cool. This is why we fire you. All right.
Or it could be on Why I'm Lovable, but silver lining.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't think it's silver lining at all.
Nope.
It's just gray skies, no silver lining. Small bit of news: Jessica Jones is coming out in 2 weeks.
Yes, that teaser trailer was creepy.
I haven't seen it.
What? Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it, no.
Oh my goodness, you guys are pointless.
What? It was a teaser. I mean, teasers are kind of
because
pointless.
it kind of introduced a guy she'd be fighting. I don't know who he is though.
Okay,
but we can't talk about it if y'all can watch it.
We can. What did you see in the teaser trailer?
Nothing. It was just, I don't know.
See, that's why teaser trailers aren't important.
Oh.
Right.
Fine.
But anyhow,
it was
red.
I've never. A guy and there was a hallway.
There was a guy in a hallway.
No, it was a guy's voice, and there was a hallway, and then it like showed her door.
Okay. Well, Jessica Jones always has kind of a creep factor to it.
Yeah, but I want you guys to tell me who he was supposed to be.
How am I supposed to know? Because he had a voice.
No one follows like Jessica Jones.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah, true.
Well, it seemed interesting enough.
Well, it should be. It's the last of the Marvel Netflix shows.
Yes.
I'll never get used to how Netflix just drops stuff. It's like, hey, this is coming out in 2 weeks. Like, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't,
Didn't see it coming. Didn't know you were doing this. And it's like, oh, I got something new to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. So, yeah, that's coming up. People have a petition to get Johnny Depp back for the Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Because wasn't, you may mention a handful of episodes ago that they're doing a soft reboot?
Yeah, I thought they were rebooting it. That's what I thought it was.
Well, if they're not rebooting it, I find it hard to see Pirates of the Caribbean without Johnny Depp. He
Agreed.
is the main character.
Spin-off?
And I feel like spin-off to... Okay, I have not seen these movies.
I've seen them.
I've seen one.
So I was going to say spin-off to who? Is there another person worth following for another 5 movies?
I don't think there is. I have
to.
seen all of the movies, and I don't think there is. I don't think there is anything to say like, hey, we should use this person as a spinoff.
Is this franchise that great?
I think people really like it.
Okay.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Let's remember this is a franchise based off of a amusement park ride.
And you really like a franchise based off of comic books.
Yeah, okay, but comic books have stories. But anyhow,
you made a really interesting point. She really just put all our hopes and dreams and killed it right there with that statement.
Whatever. I guess, I don't know. I feel like if they want to redo it, they can do it with somebody else. As long as, you just have to make a good movie.
If the thing is, if it's a sequel to all the other movies, then I feel like you need him. If you're redoing it, then get someone else.
Yeah. So I guess it depends on what they're doing.
Yeah.
Besides, these petitions never work, people. Disney are not.
Oh,
not
they don't.
Listen to
this is a Disney thing.
Yeah,
Disney
Pirates
don't care.
is Disney.
I forgot. They have so much stuff.
There's always has been with Disney.
I know,
Yeah,
but
is that right?
They own everything. It's hard to keep up.
It is. They own our lives.
Yes.
This podcast brought to you by Disney.
I wish.
Not really. It's not really brought to you by Disney.
I mean, but Disney though.
I mean, if
I'm
you
just
guys
saying.
want to, I will sell out.
For real.
I don't mind.
Definitely.
That's fine. All Disney things are great. Whatever. It's not true. It's not true at all. Dumbo was horrible.
You didn't even see it.
And you have to see it.
Oh, they're doing a Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Yeah, Snow White's coming out, or they were going to be redoing that.
Yeah.
Who are they going to have play Snow White?
A pale person? What? What?
Wow. Wow.
I don't know. It's not cast yet. I guess. Who's that girl from Harry Potter? Emma Watson? Can she do it?
She's kind of old.
Emma
now,
Watson?
She was in Harry Potter?
Old.
It definitely wasn't Emma Watson.
Whatever her name is. It's Emma
the girl
something.
that plays the girl in Harry.
Obviously.
Yes. Okay.
Goodness. I don't know who was in Harry.
I can look up her name.
She could play like a. If I'm to think of any actress, I would say she could play Snow White. Are the dwarves going to be CGI, or are you going to be progressive and hire little people?
Interesting. Why not?
Right?
I mean, you're making it live action. Go on.
Yeah, hire little people. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I would say that would be the best thing for them to do.
Mm-hmm. Was she in all the Harry Potter movies?
I think so.
I'm trying to think of her real. They're not giving me her real name.
I don't see anybody remotely like no Emma Watson in Harry Potter.
My bad. She was.
Oh, he was right.
Yeah.
She played Hermione.
Yeah.
Hermione.
Oh, okay. So obviously, I don't know who Emma Watson is.
Well, apparently. Derek doesn't either, apparently.
Apparently
she was in Beauty and the Beast, the remake of Beauty and the Beast, so I guess that's a no.
Yeah, I didn't like
she was
that.
Belle.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot she was Belle. So, never mind. And they're getting Emma Stone for Cruella, so...
She's going to play Cruella?
I think so. She's at least in the movie.
Young, isn't she?
Emma Stone is playing Cruella?
I don't know if she's playing... She's in the movie.
Oh, okay.
She's cast in the movie.
Why don't they get the person who played Cruella the first time? Wasn't that
Glenn Close?
Glenn Close?
Yeah. Why not?
You could.
Glenn Close was great.
Woof woof. That's like all I remember from that movie. We already had a live action 101 Dalmatians.
Yes, which is why they didn't need a Cruella movie.
All right.
Very true.
True. It is confirmed Robert Pattinson is Batman now.
Yes.
Applause. I need like an applause soundtrack. Yay. Clap, 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 clap. I guess
out
whatever.
of the three selections, out of the three choices we had.
I mean, he's a fine actor. I just can't picture his face as...
I don't see him as Batman. You know, but we can see what they transform him into. We'll see how it turns out. I think he was a better choice than Nicholas Hoult.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. I don't know. I guess maybe my vision of who Bruce Wayne and Batman is different than everyone else's vision.
Yeah.
Yeah. But okay. I wouldn't fine with that.
Gotten him, but...
Yeah.
I don't know. What actors do you have for a young Batman?
I mean, there's somebody out there, right?
Right.
She doesn't know.
Well,
there's nobody.
I was going to say something stupid, but I'm not going to say that, so...
Okay. All right, and last bit of news that I had, Spider-Man 3. It's rumored. Remember we talked about how people were saying Deadpool was going to be introduced in Spider-Man 3, and we were like, most likely not. So apparently, of course, that's not what's going to happen, but people are saying that Sony is pushing to have Venom in Spider-Man 3.
That's not happening.
No, because
I wouldn't mind Venom being in Spider-Man 3.
Well,
and I would like Tom Hardy being, but it should not connect to the Venom movie.
Well, considering how the last Spider-Man 3 had Venom in it.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to do that again.
Yeah, you're right.
Besides the fact that Kevin Feige has already been adamant against putting Venom in the Spider-Man movies that he's having. So this leaves a couple of choices because the contract has to renew after Far From Home. Mm-hmm. So either this is going to happen. One, I'm going to say you're not getting an MCU Spider-Man with Venom in it. That's absolutely not going to happen. So either MCU keeps Spider-Man and the third movie doesn't get Venom, or Sony takes Spider-Man back and then the third movie does get Venom and it's horrible because there's no way for you to tie this in at all, but whatever.
Yeah, I think that would be a real dumb choice.
So that's the two options that we're going to have. I don't think Sony's going to do it because there is more money in allowing Marvel to make these movies for them.
Sony seems keen on making horrible decisions, though.
Yeah. Oh, also, we lost the head. She went to Dream. Where did she go?
You said DreamWorks.
Universal.
Universal?
Yeah, I think she went to Universal.
Okay.
Amy Pascal.
Yeah.
So now we have Avi Arad there.
Who the what?
Yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah, he's not the smartest of decision makers because he's one of the ones that pushed to have Venom in Spider-Man 3 when Sam Raimi didn't want him. It was supposed to just be Sandman.
Right.
And he wanted Venom in Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, I think Spider-Man 3 should have had one or the other and not both.
Yeah.
And
I think if they left it with just Sandman, the movie would have been a lot better than what it ended
also,
up being.
Venom wasn't executed well either. So.
Yeah, and Sam Raimi already showed with Spider-Man 1 and 2 that he could make a decent Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
So the third one was obviously, you could see the interference from the studio in the movie. So we are working with a different person, so we don't know what they're going to do. But still, there's still more money to be had in letting Marvel make these movies for you and you earn the profits off of them, rather than taking it back and then running the risk to doing what you've done before twice already. So, doesn't seem like a good idea. So I don't think they're going to do it. And before anyone asks me, yes, Marvel makes the Spider-Man movies. Everyone, it seems to be a group of people saying that Sony makes them and Marvel approves it. That's not how the contract works. Marvel makes it, Sony bankrolls it, and Marvel's only doing that because it actually fleshes out their universe, and that way they get to use Spider-Man in other movies. So Sony earns all the profits, they bankroll the movie, they earn the profits, but it is written, directed, cast, whatever, all that by the MCU. That's why it has the MCU tag on the beginning, not because they looked at it and said, oh, it's okay. No, they make these movies.
Okay.
You know what? At me if you want. You're wrong. So, all right.
Good way to clear that up.
Mm-hmm. Anyhow, that's it for the news. So let's talk about Godzilla. So we're going to do a DJ reviews. That means I'm the only one that saw the movie. Fair enough.
Yep.
But I'll go ahead and let you guys know about the movie and what I thought. So I'll start with no spoilers. It's going to be real short, and then I'll get into a couple of spoilers. First of all, I will say I did not like this movie at all. In fact, someone in my theater, while the movie was on, out loud spoke these words, "This is stupid." Someone said that. I was thinking it. Didn't say it out loud, though. So, yeah, the movie is, in my opinion, not good. I would give it a 5 out of 10, which is, I guess, the lowest score I've given so far.
That's pretty low.
Yes, it is.
I came home and told my wife it was the worst movie I saw this year. Apparently, there's a lot of people that disagree with me, and I have valid theories on why that is, and there's an obvious reason why people like this movie, and they're not wrong for doing that. Mm-hmm. So, that being said, reason why I don't like it, the story's bad, dialogue's bad, writing's bad. CGI is actually really good. Some of the fights are entertaining between the kaiju is what they're called, the monsters. So, that's entertaining-ish. But, unlike, I like the first Godzilla movie and the 2014 version, and I know a lot of people didn't, but the reason I liked it is because it did build up something. Well, we were just talking about how Marvel, over the course of movies, built up to a satisfying conclusion when they came out of Avengers, and again with Endgame and some of their other movies. You get a satisfaction from the build-up. I thought that we had that with the 2014 Godzilla movie. Throughout the movie, you saw kind of what Godzilla was doing. It had some suspense in it, and then in the third act, you finally got to see Godzilla in action, and it kind of paid off for them holding off. You know, they kept going, oh, here's Godzilla, and then moving away from him. It's kind of annoying in some scenes, but by the end, it paid off, and some super cool scenes happened, especially like the first time you use this atomic breath. I was in the theater when I saw it, and I was like, it's cool, the coolest thing ever.
Okay. I mean, we're not talking about the first Godzilla, so I'm going to reserve my comment.
Oh, what?
I just felt like the first time he used his atomic breath, I guess is what you're calling it, I was sitting there thinking like he had that in the entire time. He didn't use it.
Yeah.
That was my, like...
Yeah. I don't know why.
Like, that's dumb,
He used it a lot more in this movie.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I just felt like, that's stupid.
So, yeah, that's my thought. The villain, if you want to call them a villain in this current Godzilla movie, motivations are stupid. They had a cliche villain in there too, which was annoying.
Because basically they want to be the king monster, I guess.
Well, we're not talking about the monster. The monsters are kind of just forces of nature, really. I mean, when you really look at them in the end.
Okay.
So it's,
all right.
You don't even look like, okay, the dragon thing is the bad monster, but you don't look at it as, oh, this is the villain of the movie, because it was just doing its thing, you know, which was bad for us, of course.
Right.
But it was just doing its thing, you know.
Okay.
And that's how I saw it. At least that's how it was framed. It wasn't framed to me like this villainous thing. I guess if that makes sense. When I say the dialogue was bad, there were some really bad lines.
That's unfortunate because they had like some good people in this movie.
Yeah, there were some good people. The guy from Friday Night Lights,
Kyle Chandler.
Yes, that guy. Ken Watanabe, he's back.
Yeah.
He spoiler alert, he dies. So much like they did with Old Boy in the first one, Bryan Cranston.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, there's some good people. There was a Japanese lady. I guess I don't know if she's a Japanese actress or not. I don't know who she is. I don't blame any of the actors. It was obviously the writing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like it's unfortunate since you do have, like, you know, a well-seasoned cast, I guess, that is not...
A good acting cast on the...
that, you know, they didn't take advantage of the cast that they had.
I'm going to give you an example of a line that was in this movie. Someone said, "Oh my God," and then another person said, "Zilla." That was an interaction that happened in this movie.
Like what?
Yes. So, that's just an example why I didn't like this movie. Okay. All right, so I'm going to get full-on spoilers for the movie. So if you haven't seen it, I know I gave away that somebody died, but it wasn't like a real important. At least I don't feel like it was. So full-on spoilers from this point on. So here's the thing. So it starts off in like there's the government wants to kill all the monsters, and there's this scientist group which apparently existed before the first Godzilla movie, which I think they did point that out. Like it was people like studying where they were, but this scientist group, they're studying the monsters or whatever, and it starts off with the girl who plays 11 and her mom. And they're where the Mothra thing is and is waking up. And then this like bad group comes in and kills all the scientists and captures 11. And I want to keep calling her 11. I know it's Millie Bobby Brown, but I know her as 11. Sorry. It captures 11 and her mother. Well, so at first you think, wow, what are these people doing? And actually, I'm like, okay, so what's going on? I was into the story at that point. Well, it turns out that the mom wasn't really captured, but it was her plan all along. Anyway, and she wants to wake up the monsters because she believes they're forces of nature and humans are ruining the earth. So it'll be a reset for the earth.
So she wants to kill the earth with giant monsters.
save the world, apparently,
right.
with the monsters.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So that's her plan. That's what she wants to do. So she does it, and they wake up a couple of monsters, but when you wake up the big dragon thing, since he and Godzilla are two alphas, so in the past they fought for dominance, and so when he wakes up, he just calls all the other monsters and wakes them all up at the same time. This, I thought, was a really stupid plot point. All of a sudden, she has to change her heart because she said we wanted to wake them up one at a time and not all together. Like there was going to be a big difference in the amount of damage they caused.
Right, like that makes, who cares?
Waking them up at one at a time or all together, they were still going to kill everybody. I don't understand what, like...
Yeah.
So,
wow.
I didn't get that reasoning because she was acting like, people weren't going to just be extinct. But I'm like, no, if you let all these things go, the human race is completely gone, and you don't... So, her motivation was absolutely dumb. Like, it made no sense at all.
Wow.
At all. Just, no.
Yeah, wow. That make no sense.
Yeah.
Totally no sense at all.
So, and there's the thing in it, and I guess if you, the Titans, or the Kaiju, like, their story is a simple story, there's two alphas, one wakes up, so they want to fight for dominance. Godzilla's your benevolent alpha, and then you have the other one, which is not so benevolent. It's kind of, let's destroy this planet type of thing, right? Mm-hmm. So, that's your Kaiju story. And to me, that seems okay. It's simple enough. They're monsters. Great. When they added in...
Yeah, it doesn't have to get any more elaborate than that.
Yeah, they added in this convoluted plot with this scientist that's trying to save the world by waking them all up. Why? And then things kept happening. Like, when I use the word convoluted, it's not wrong. They kept adding things to the plot. Because every time something would happen and they have a solution, something else would happen and get in the way. Mm-hmm. So Godzilla's in the final battle. They revived him. And they're like, oh my God, the nuclear warhead recharged Godzilla too much. He's going to blow up in 12 minutes.
Huh?
Yes, literally, yes. What? What do you mean? Wow. I'm like, it would have been better if you just, like, the nuclear warhead recharged Godzilla, and this was able to give him the fighting chance to win the last battle. He lost 2 more beforehand. You didn't need him to be an underdog again.
Right.
So it would have been fine.
Wow. They were all over the place with this.
Yeah. So that's my thoughts on Godzilla.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for that.
But apparently, because I looked at other people's reviews of the movie and stuff, so really, apparently there were a lot of fan service for people who, like, were fans of Godzilla from the beginning. So that is what I'm hearing. That's what they like about it. A lot of people are liking what they've done with Godzilla and the other monsters in this movie. And if you're a fan of Godzilla, I'm going to say go see it. If you're not and you're just a regular moviegoer, don't go see this movie. It's not good.
Okay.
Those are my thoughts. I'm done for the rest of the day.
Yes.
So anyway, it wasn't that long. It was like a 10-minute review.
That was more than 10 minutes.
It was 10 minutes.
Oh, it felt longer.
Why?
It did feel a little long.
Well, think about how long it felt to me when I was in that 2-hour movie.
Okay.
All right, so Cloak and Dagger is next.
Yes.
So we have the season finale. It was season 2 of Cloak and Dagger. And we'll start with Delilah. What did you think?
Are we talking about just the season finale or the entire second season?
Yeah, I would say the season as a whole.
Okay. I thought it was really good. I liked it better than the first one. And I felt like every episode built up nicely. Like, I thought, like, we said before, however many months ago, that the first episode was kind of slow. But I felt like since that point is, like, a good build-up. I will say I didn't really understand that Andre Duchesne guy. I mean, I guess, is he a real comic book person?
I honestly don't know.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, I overall I thought it was good. I really like. You know what? I don't think I like anyone else in the show. Like I like Tyrone and Tandy. Yeah. Bridget's okay. Everyone else, I'm just like boo. And then like what they did with his mom, and I was just like,
oh yeah.
But overall, I will say I really like the season, and I don't know if we're getting a season 3, but I hope we do.
I think we are going to get a season 3. There's no reason to mess with these shows. Hopefully they don't. I'll say the same. I did enjoy the season. Mm-hmm. It started to slow down a bit for me towards the end.
Yeah, I thought the season finale was just kind of
Yeah, I thought it was better towards the middle.
Yeah.
The main villain I did like. It was interesting how he kind of messed with people because it was a different type of villain, you know?
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. But yeah, the season finale I thought was kind of lackluster. But I said the same thing about the season finale for the first season.
Yeah, well, so. I guess for me with the season finale is that they really didn't fight him.
Yeah.
And I guess maybe that's the whole point, that he's messing with their heads so much where they had to pretty much fight themselves.
Right.
To get to him. But then when they got to him, they beat him in like 30 seconds.
They did, because he really didn't have... Over them, he didn't have that much power.
No, he didn't. He had to pretty much make them doubt themselves.
Yeah.
Which I guess is what his power is.
Or he makes you
feel despair until there's no hope.
I thought it was interesting because what I realized, this show deals a lot with people's emotions. Mm-hmm. Like, so you have the fear and hope is Cloak and Dagger. Mm-hmm. And he dealt with their despair. And then there was another person, Mayhem was anger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of whatever the substance is that infected everybody. It's like a lot of different emotions are giving them control over certain emotions.
And I feel like you spend a lot of time in each other's head.
Yeah.
And it's like even with Mayhem and Bridget, it's like pretty much they're like, we have to combine with each other, which I'm still like, okay. Not how that worked.
Yeah, one thing I don't get about this show is how that works when it goes. I get how you can have multiple people in the mindscape, but then how does it show up into the real world? Like, there were 2 Bridgets in the real world.
That's what I was like, okay, because so they're saying like we mind it, but I'm like, but there's 2 of you. So did one get left behind in Ty's cloud universe?
I don't know. And technically, it's not his. I had to realize that halfway through.
Because people kept walking around in it?
And I'm like, this is not... He has access to the dark dimension.
Yeah, that was confusing.
And it's not his.
Okay.
He just has access
to the dark force.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That was super confusing. Because I'm like, how's the record store in here? But okay. It's just a central place that people can cross through when they messing with each other's head.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, and that's the thing. So there's 2 different things. You have the inside of people's minds.
Right.
And then you have, and it looks similar. That's why it gets confusing.
Yeah.
And then you have that space that they were in, like with the record store and the mall and all that.
Okay.
Which is separate.
All right.
Yeah, it takes some... I thought it got a little complicated towards the end. A bit. But it was still
I would say so. And I only made it to the middle of it, but I was getting that vibe of it.
Yeah.
Of it getting kind of confusing and not clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the end of this season ends with Tandy and Ty going on a bus trip. They don't tell us where they're going.
Right.
So I know a couple of people had theories, and I was kind of hoping that they're going to end up where the Runaways are.
So you're talking like a full-blown crossover with them?
Yeah.
I don't know if I want a full-blown crossover with them.
No?
No. I mean, maybe show up in an episode. I don't know. I kind of like... I think
I have to watch the Runaways, so I don't have no idea what you guys...
I think it would be better if they like were on their own doing their own thing. Unless, did the Runaways deal with girls on the beach washing up?
No, I was trying to figure out what that reference was.
Right. It seemed very like it was referencing something that maybe we should all know.
Yeah, because they were headed to a place. It seems like they want to be superheroes. They're going to find where bad things are happening, and they'll try to solve it.
Yeah.
And so they're heading to a place where they said it was a bunch of girls washing up on the beach. That's all the context we got. I don't know any from any of the other Marvel
But maybe
shows.
the next season with Runaways, maybe it will have that.
Yeah, well, that, and also we're talking about a beach in the United States. That is a lot of states.
A whole lot of states. And Runaways are in San Francisco. No,
they're in California.
They're in California.
I wanted to say LA, but it might not be LA.
Yeah. Or did they leave?
I
gotta rewatch the end of season 2.
Yeah.
To see. I don't remember if they left or not. Yeah, but that'll be interesting. I know in the comics that they do Cloak and Dagger and Runaways crossover.
Okay.
So it's not like far-fetched like we just want these shows to cross. So this
want it to happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, they dropped Luke Cage.
I saw that. I was very surprised. Like, hey, you dropped a show that it's not on anymore. But I was glad they did.
Yeah. I was like, wow. Okay, so now Runaways is clearly tied into the Netflix universe.
Yes.
Which the Netflix universe is tied into the movie universe. Or no, it hasn't. The ABC shows have.
Correct. The
solidified.
ABC shows have. Netflix shows only like would give a reference to something.
Yeah.
You know, they'd say something.
It still seemed like it.
I feel like it seems like it's all about whether or not Marvel wants to recognize it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I thought it was interesting, especially after the cancellations. And I know they probably filmed this before.
Probably, yeah.
But they saw the need to keep it in, so.
Well, that and I mean, I kind of like the fact that they saw the need to mention it anyways.
Yeah.
You know, and it didn't even feel like too much of a throwaway line. You know, it didn't feel out of place or anything like that.
No, yeah, it fit.
Yeah.
It really did fit with what was going on. So, that's pretty cool. So this is tied to the Netflix side of the MCU.
Yeah.
I guess technically Netflix is tied to the movies because they directly offshoot from Avengers.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is, but it's just, I guess the movies don't recognize the shows, but the shows recognize the movies.
Which I'm fine. I'm actually fine with that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Which is probably going to be to a lesser extent now that they have the streaming service.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But see, that's all I was asking for with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You see how we were all happy by this one little segment about Luke Cage? He wasn't even in the show. They just mentioned him.
Look, and get over it.
No, I would never get over it.
Just get over it. Go back to talking about the season. Detective Connors, I thought was an interesting thing to happen on there. They grabbed him out of the whatever space we want to call him being in. Mm-hmm. And he, after being trapped in, by yourself in a creepy world, he decides to come clean with everything he did. And I did not like what they did with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He comes clean. He says, I want to turn myself in. And I didn't understand why it was like Tyrone bounced him to his father bounced him to someone else, and they bounced him to his mother. To me, that didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I don't understand that either.
Everything you needed to turn.
That's the part where I'm at. I'm at when he takes him to his mom.
Yeah, and
I just didn't understand.
It didn't make, even after they're like, okay, they go to the center house and they didn't get what they wanted, fine. But the guy handed you everything else to prove that he did this.
And he was showing that he wasn't trying anything, because why even show up?
Right, he gave you all of this physical evidence, right? Mm-hmm. I didn't understand everything that they did. It didn't make any sense to me.
And in the end, the last episode with how they resolved that, I didn't like that
I was like, are we not going to question how this guy died?
Yeah. And like the police force seems okay with it.
Right, like someone still got murdered. Like, okay, yes, he was corrupt, but someone still got murdered. Yeah, no one
goes, oh yeah, especially if you're a police officer. You're not supposed to at least go, oh, yeah, well, this guy's dead.
Well, even
now.
if they didn't like him, and I'm sure a lot of people in that precinct didn't like him.
Especially when they found out, like, what he was doing and who he really was.
Yeah, but that cannot be the end of that storyline.
Yeah.
Like, someone has to look into that.
Obviously, yeah, I don't know. And I get the mother, but it was weird. I'm like, why...
It didn't make any sense.
Yeah, so that portion I didn't really like either.
Yeah, no, I didn't understand none of it. I mean, I get like no one's saying you gotta forgive this guy because I could never forgive that guy for what he did.
Yeah,
but to me, their solution and their actions to me just didn't make any sense. It was very illogical to me.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That being said, just much like the first season, I feel like the beginning and middles of the season is a lot better than like the last couple of episodes.
Yeah.
But because it is so good and intriguing, I am looking forward to a third season to see what they do.
Yeah, I'm hoping for it. And finally, I'm hoping Ty and Tandy get over a lot of their self-doubt issues.
Yeah.
and just begin to like, it's like in the first season too, it's like we're friends and then they argue with each other, disappear, realizes that it'd have been better if you were here to help me. Mm-hmm. This wouldn't have happened. And so I'm hoping they get over that.
Yeah, because Cloak and Dagger together is supposed to be a beast.
Yes.
Basically, you know?
Yeah, so and the thing is, it's like they always realize we work better together, but then they always find a way to not be together.
Of course. I'm pretty sure it'll happen again.
I'm sure. I'm hoping no, but...
Or maybe it won't be them. Maybe somebody else separates them.
Okay.
If you can figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
Because, Ty can just teleport.
Yeah.
But...
So...
We'll see what happens. So, yep, that was our thoughts on Cloak and Dagger Season 2. And that's about it. So we'll get into What You Doing. And I guess that needs a theme too. So it's like, do, what you doing?
Okay. I'm going to write that down.
Yep. Do, what you doing?
Wow.
It's an excellent theme. Don't hate on it, okay? So, Derek, what you doing this week?
I have found a new show on Netflix called Shadow.
Okay.
And it is a South African TV series.
Interesting.
And it is a series thriller. And it's about a ex-cop called Shadow. It's his nickname. His name is Shadrack. And the interesting thing is he's an ex-cop, but he is now a vigilante. And basically, he's taking on, the criminals underground of what's going on in the city. And it takes place in Johannesburg. Okay. But what's interesting about him is that he does not or cannot feel pain. And now, the part I don't understand is they don't explain to you on how he got that way or why he's that way. Like they have flashbacks here and there, of him. I think he got struck by lightning or something, but it's like they don't explain to you like when it happened, why it happened.
And then like do that with these superpowers, guys.
Yeah.
Disclaimer: lightning will kill you. It doesn't give you superpowers. Okay.
Yeah.
Usually, when people develop, I don't know what the name is, but when they don't feel pain, it's usually like a head trauma, right? Mm-hmm. Which is bad for you because not feeling pain will kill you.
Right.
Yeah.
And like this dude has been shot and stabbed, but he's still going at it, and so like he's still going to the doctor, and the doctor is telling him like, "Hey, like you have to get this taken care of because eventually you will die." Because it's exactly like what you said. It's like, just because you can't feel the pain doesn't mean it's not doing something to your body.
Right. You're still being damaged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually it's worse because, like, you're fighting, like, sometimes the pain is like, hey, no, don't do this right now because it's going to cause more damage. And since you can't feel that, I feel like, someone rips a muscle and he's still fighting, he's just going to make it useless.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because the point of feeling pain, like you said, is it would cause you to stop doing what you're doing, All
right, that's cool. So, Delilah, what you doing?
So, I'm going to go with something safe and not about how me trying to rip off Amazon.
Right, tell the world how you're ripping off Amazon. Okay.
I'm not going to because then it won't work. So, on Netflix, I started watching Nailed It.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a baking show. It's kind of like, what's that, Cupcake Wars?
Oh, I heard about this.
You know, it's a Cupcake Wars where they make all these fancy cakes and whatnot. And
yeah.
So Nailed It is that show, but for people who can't bake.
Yeah.
And so, you know, they give them like, oh, make a dinosaur cake. And so then all these normal people who has they're like, I love baking, but they're not good at it.
Yeah, it's like me being on that show.
And I thought of you when Darren be like, I'm going to make an ocean waterfall cake and it be a blue blob.
Yep.
That's exactly what this is. But the show it's hilarious. And it's so weird because the season's only like 6 or 8 episodes long. Mm-hmm. And it's like only 20-something minutes. So you can get through a lot of episodes really fast. But I thought it was really interesting because some people, like, they're really trying. And for some people, like, with no skills, be like, oh, okay, that was kind of close. And then some people, you're like, this is horrible.
Well, that stuff's hard to do.
Yeah.
One thing I learned when I first tried working with fondant, I was like, no.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because they got to use fondant and modding chocolate. And there's some people who's like, there was this one, and I forgot what they were making. They were making cake, but she forgot to add the flour. Oh. So it was like egg, sugar, and salt and milk, but no flour. And so like there was a little sign up there that says, egg, sugar, and salt with no flour makes an omelet and not a cake. Mm-hmm. And so on that one, they did stop her and was like, you didn't put any flour in here. Because usually they like let people fail, but that time there was like, you might want to add some flour to your cake.
Yes, that's like the most important ingredient.
Yeah, but I like it. I know I'm a little late to the party because they're on season 3.
Oh.
But
okay.
It's a good show. I mean, if you want mindless entertainment, check it out.
Yeah, I heard about that this week. Yeah. So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good show.
Yeah.
I am catching up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Because I hadn't watched any episodes since the first one, so they've had 3 more.
I've seen the second episode.
Yeah, it's. I'm mad because it's interesting, and I want to know what happens.
You're so get over it.
I want to know what happens, and it's good, but I'm like, no, because you're not tied into the MCU. But you know, whatever. It's pretty good. Some interesting things happening. So. Okay. I've just been catching up on that this week.
Yeah, I have to catch up because I know Hulu starts to remove episodes, so I can't get too far behind.
Yeah, well, I think it's only like 10 episodes, so.
Yeah, but I don't know what Hulu's schedule is for, because some shows they don't remove episodes, and for some shows they do.
True.
I don't know what the rules are, so sometimes I like don't get too far behind, because then you miss some episodes. Yeah. Or I can just wait till it comes on Netflix next year.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're not wrong.
Oh, wait, will it still come on Netflix next year?
Oh, probably not.
I think it will.
No.
Oh, no.
Disney
it's a Marvel show.
Service. And not only in Marvel, Disney owns ABC.
Yeah. So how usually a month after the end of the season, I get the whole season. So if I miss something, I can watch it. I won't get that anymore.
No. It might be on Hulu, though.
So you think... So you saying that Netflix ain't going to get nothing?
They usually bring the season back.
Well, yeah, because they said Ant-Man and the Wasp was going to be the last Marvel movie to be on Netflix.
Yeah. So, no, we won't get it. I can't do that.
Yeah, it probably won't get any Disney-owned stuff.
Yep. Okay. All right, so I just have to keep up.
Yep. All right, well, that's about it, guys. So, of course, I'd like to thank everybody for listening to the podcast. We do appreciate all of your support. Of course, if you want to leave a comment to us, you can reach us at our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/3drivals. That's the number 3D Rivals. And you can also email us at 3drivals@gmail.com if you want to reach out to us. Other than that, guys, again, thank you very much for listening, and peace out.